Hey, good morning. I just wanted to make sure that you were able to get this off of your email. And if you have any issues, please email me and I'll resend this. So this is what the seventh grade classes in school will be working on. The exception is we're using DraftSight, which is a drawing program. For remote learners, they're going to be using Google Draw. So one of the things you're going to have to do is go to Google Draw and set this up. And I'll sort of give you an example here in a minute. Anyway, this is not something that's going to be done over a one-day period. For us, we're going to be working with DraftSight for the week just to kind of build fluency in some of the tools. But for you, if you worked on this a little bit each day towards the end of the week, that would be great. And some of the concepts here, we want you to understand geometric shapes and then employing logos to create an actual company logo. So that's what we're going to try to figure out here. One of the things that you're going to be responsible for is either using DraftSight, which we'll be doing in school, or if you're not in school, Google Draw. You're going to create a logo, a company logo, something like, I don't know, McDonald's, Coca-Cola. It's going to have a shape and a name as well. So it's got to have some geometric shapes, and these are examples, squares, rectangles, octagons, things like that. We're going to ask you to employ multicolors and gradients, and then come up with a creative company name. Okay, so if I go over to Google Draw and save it as logo design, a couple of the elements that you're going to bring in, you're going to want to understand some of the shapes that you can employ. I would like you to try to kind of go beyond just picking a shape and adding a gradient and adding a name. If I look at some of these shapes right here, these are multiple shapes together with different lines. So if I'm looking at some of the tools that Google Draw has, you can draw any directional lines that you want. If I hold down Shift, it ensures that they're either perfectly vertical or perfectly horizontal if I hold down the Shift key. And obviously from here I can change the line color and the thickness and so forth and so on. Okay, so I'd like you to kind of look at being creative with the shapes that they allow you to bring in. Obviously these are 3 different circles and they're positioned in a way where we can arrange the order of them based on what I want the logo to look like. Okay, and then right down here is an example of something that may be more of a finished version where we brought in 3 different shapes, square, 2 of these pill rectangles, and then added the different gradients and colors and then the creative name. So just take some time and acclimate yourself with what is out there. If you want to be creative, what we've done in class, you can look at geometric logos and go right to images. And this might give you a guide to kind of help you out. What I don't want you to do is copy and paste one into Google Draw. If you want to use one as a reference to trace, that's okay. Something like this is going to obviously be, a thicker line that you're going to have to draw. But then coming up with a name and the topography, that's up to you. As far as what's being offered in text, you have the option of a text box right here. And then you can obviously change the size of that and the font based on what you want it to look like. Or you can actually, if I copy this, you can go to Insert, down to here to Word Art, and a text box will pop up. And then once I press Enter, that will come in. And again, with this one right here, you could change the inside color, and then you could also change the style to fit what you want the title to look like. So there's some options there. Again, what we really want you to do is sort of acclimate yourself with what we're trying to do. Obviously, you're limited at home not having DraftSight software, so we're going to ask you to use Google Draw to do this. This is not something that we want you to do in a rush. Just kind of work your way towards the end of the week, and we'll check in. If you have any questions, email me. Other than that, have some fun and email me if you have any questions. Thank you.